What's your name and how do you know Rago and Associates?
My name is Abby, and I found Rago and Associates through someone referred us to my family to Rago and Associates. Where was I in my life? I was in probably like the lowest point that I have been in my life. Um, I I did not think any sort of help would ever make me feel better. So yeah, definitely was doing it more for my family and other people getting help than for myself. So I kind of, I mean, I willingly did it, obviously, but it was definitely a low point in my life. Yes,
Mm-hmm. Anything?
I did. I didn't address my own mental health issues until I was going into college, and I had problems since fifth grade, but I just didn't address it. I didn't tell my family or anyone about it because I thought I would be seen as crazy if I did. So I when I actually addressed it, I saw a therapist for the first time 2 weeks before I left for college, actually, and then I saw someone at school, and so I've had multiple experiences with other therapists and programs and all of that stuff. But yeah, I would feel somewhat better. Not It didn't really fully help me. I never felt a connection with any of those other therapists. I just don't think it was the right fit. But yes, I've had a lot of prior experience with therapists and just that kind of help in general.
Mm-hmm.
I had this kind of feeling of, oh, every kind of clinical setting is the same, and like they go about it in the same way, and that was not until I actually started going to getting help from Rago and Associates that I realized, wow, not every place is like this. Is the only place that goes about it in the right way and in a positive way, and I actually saw so much change compared to any other help that I've gotten. A lot. I was dealing with disordered eating habits and depression and anxiety, and the eating habits and the anxiety really stemmed from the depression that I faced for most of my life. So I came there for that, and I wanted to focus on the depression mainly because I knew that was what was causing the other things. Once I got the therapy that I got from Rago and Associates, I those other two things I didn't fully I did address those obviously in my therapy, but it was tackling that one thing that really helped all of it together, and also just the way that my therapy was structured was way different than any other therapy that I've gone through, because we did so many different things. It wasn't just talking, it was art, it was we did different games, just very I enjoyed going, I will say, and I always hated going to therapy, I'm not gonna lie, because I don't like talking about my feelings, but now I enjoy it. I look forward to it every time I have an appointment. I started seeing my therapist from Rago and Associates a little bit over a year ago, and at first I'm always very closed off at first, just therapy in general. It's a hard thing to go through and talk about what you're dealing with, but immediately I felt so welcomed, and my therapist was very genuine and herself, and shared personal things with me that I could relate to so much, and it really helped me open up. And I have told her things I've told no one else because I feel so safe, and I trust her with everything because she treats me like a person and not like just a client. And she treats me like a friend too, which also it helps definitely. Honestly, finding Rago and Associates was the biggest step in my recovery, because I had tried so many other things, and nothing seemed to stick, or it was temporary a lot of the times that I felt better, and I knew that too, and that's why I kind of lost trust in just the idea of going to therapy in general, because I was like, what, it's not going to get better, so why should I? And then when I started going to Rago, everything changed in the best way possible, because I realized I was doing all of it for other people. I was getting help for other people, not for myself. And my therapist made that mindset change. And I realized I needed to do it for myself because no one else was going to do it for me. They could only, push me in the right direction. So, great experience overall. Yes, getting help from Rago and Associates was the major factor in my recovery. I would say the number one factor, actually. Rago and Associates made me realize that it can get better, and it will get better, because I'd never felt that before, and I never thought that I would make it to 21, let alone fifth grade me did not see herself ever going to college or going to high school. So the fact that I dealt with that for so long, and I just was like, oh, this is going to be how it is the rest of my life, and then finding Rago and Associates really changed my whole life. It was a big step for me personally, because I love myself now, and I'm very, very happy, and every time I think of where I was a year ago, I want to cry, not because of sadness, because I'm so happy, and I never thought that could be a thing. I finally feel like I've found kind of who I was before I felt all the terrible things that I felt, because I felt like I didn't know who I was for so long. I didn't really like I am finally, I know who I am. Like, I know my personality more, and I used to let my illnesses define me, and now I am my own person, and that's just something that I experienced. That was a time in my life that I do look back on a lot, but not in a negative way anymore. I needed to go through that to be where I am, and part of that was Rago and Associates. Major part of that was Rago and Associates help that they gave me. Of course, I 110% recommend. I want to be a child psychologist one day, and I now know how I want to, be one because of the services, because I've never, had anyone, or seen any therapist, work that well, and, they tailor their services very specifically to the person, and it's not all the same. And I think that's very important, because everyone's different, everyone goes through different things, and they know how to do it. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. What I liked about Rago is, again, very personable people. Obviously I haven't worked with everyone there, but everyone that I have come in contact with there is very, very genuine, and they care about you as a person, not just as a client. And you can tell from just the way they talk to you. I have never, there wasn't a time that I ever came out of a therapy session and felt worse, and I have felt that before, I always got something out of it every time, and I've learned so much from this, just the services that I've gotten there, and the people that I've worked with. They're amazing. Just thank you. I appreciate the help that I've gotten. I would not be here today without you and Heather, and so for that I'm very, very grateful, and I can't thank you enough. I'll be thanking you for the rest of my life.